So another topic is in software testing tools. In fourth unit, verification testing. Verification testing is the most effective way to remove defects from software. If most of the defects are removed prior to validation testing can focus on testing to determine whether the software meets to true operational needs. The user can be effectively integrated into the computer operation activities. The verification testing normally occurs during the requirements, design, and program are many different techniques for verification testing, most of which focus on the documentation associated with the building software. So we go for diagrams like adjective concern benchmark like in this place uh, do and check process. So documentation for the phase being tested here. The first task one, testing during requirement phase. The second task is testing during design phase. Third task is programming phase. Next, go for verification technique for formed concern correctly and list defects and recommendation in the checking process. So here the verification code testing process. The first, during the requirement phase, system development testing should begin during the requirement phase when most of the critical system decisions are made. In this first task, test during the requirement phase, the requirements are the basis for the system design, which is then used for programming to produce the final implemented applications. If the requirements contain errors, the entire application will be encouraged. The testing the system requirements increases the probability that our requirements will be correct. The requirement space should be a user dominated space. In other words, the user should specify the needs and information services personnel should record the needs and provide building options. If there are multiple users, responsibilities may be assigned a committee which may be the same committee that develops the requirements. One of the primary objectives of testing during requirements is to ensure that the requirements have been properly started and recorded. Normally, important for the user to accept testing responsibility during the requirements phase and to be an active participant in the test process. The next one is test during the design phase. During the design phase, the user and system designer must work together closely. Neither party should be dominant during this period. The phase during which the user defined requirements are converted into process that can be accomplished by a computer. It is important that both the user and the system designer works as partners to develop not only efficient application system but also one that is acceptable to the user. Testing during the design phase should be jointly shared by the user and information services project team. The team consists of both users and IT personnel. The project team can be accept test responsibility. Next, go to the task 3, testing during programming phase. The programming phase, building an information system, is purely little needed for user involvement except where questions arise about design specification requirements. Whenever possible, changes requested by the user should be discouraged through more complete design reviews or postponed, and the system is placed into operation. if changes cannot be postponed, they should be implemented through the regular development process and tested before changing the original programming specifications. The complexity performing the programming pace depends on the thoroughness of the design phase. The verification, the third phase is during the programming phase. Okay.